Welcome back again, my friends, enemies, and minions, to another exciting TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle. This one is against Squishymeat. Once again, a pretty funny name. We've had a lot of battles in the past, well, a handful of them, and most of them, I think, made it to YouTube. But this is an underused match in my stream the other day. And, yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. He's a very good battler. I think he's probably beaten me more times than I've beaten him, so he's a very interesting challenger here. And there's the teams. And that's all I really have to say going in. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with my Darmanitan. We actually both bring one. Mine is a choice banded one, though. I probably should bring this with sticky webs in the future, but whatever. I decided to lead with it, and he ends up leading with Celebi. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just going to go for the U-turn because I can't see him staying in here. And even if he does, then obviously U-turn would obliterate Celebi. But no, I just wanted to get the matchup advantage here as he goes out into Azumarill, and I'm just going to go into my Venomoth. And Venomoth is a cool Pokemon I've been trying to get off. Because this is actually a Buginium Z Venomoth, obviously with Quiver Dance, so that's pretty cool. Also have, poison moves for the fairy types like Azumarill. And not to mention, Tinted Lens ability will make them even more powerful. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for the Quiver Dance, and he ends up staying in, which is amazing. And here I'm thinking, alright, he might go to his own Darmanitan. Well, I was actually thinking here he might wake up, so I decided to go for the Poison move here, the Sludge Bomb. What I really should have done is went for the Greed and went for the Quiver Dance, because he's going to go into Darmanitan. And, yeah, I'm kind of thinking his is going to be Choice Scarfed, and I just don't want to risk it, so I'm going to go into my Hydreigon instead of staying in. He ends up going for the Earthquake, which is interesting. I think he said at the time it was a misclick, so that kind of sucks for him. He could have been able to do decent damage even with the resistance with Flare Blitz against my Hydreigon, but that's not going to happen because Earthquake I'm just completely immune to. So I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse. He only has one resistance to it on his team. I was so close to just hitting Earth Power, actually, which would have been pretty good because that would have done super effective damage to this Assault Vest Raikou, but instead I don't, and it's not going to do that much damage. And he's just going to go ahead and Volt Switch, which is a good play. Originally, yeah, I had a Stock Attack, my Special Defense Stock Attack on this team, but he ends up, he doesn't have Ultra Sun, so I had to replace it, and I actually replaced it with this Cobalion. And I'm going to go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks, and it doesn't take that Volt Switch nearly as well as Stakataka would, but whatever, that Volt Switch rather. So yeah, we both set up Stealth Rocks, and now I'm going to just go ahead and Volt Switch, and I was so close to Volt Switching here, I think in a Hydreigon, but at the last minute I'm like, no, let's go into Mega Pidgeot, because I have like the super effective flying move, and I kind of thought that Hydreigon would be kind of obvious, if I was to switch out, and this completely shocked me, and just him getting inside my head. He goes for the Shattered Psyche, the Psychonium Z, and yeah, I would have been immune to that if I went into Hydreigon, which I kind of didn't think he would go for a Psychic move. But yeah, that really sucks, because it ends up taking out Pidgeot before I even get the chance to Mega Evolve, and or Pidgeon, or whatever you want to call it, and yeah, that kind of blows, because that was obviously my Mega, and a really powerful Pokemon to boot. So now I am going to go into my Hydreigon, and obviously he's not going to want to stay in with the Celebi. I go for a Dark Pulse. Looking back on it, I should have just U-turned again, but, hindsight, or Earth-powered, but hindsight's 50-50. Ends up making this Azumarill eat its berry, so now I know it's almost certainly a Belly Drum Azumarill, which makes it even more scary. So I'm just going to go right back into my Venomoth. Unfortunately, he already burned a couple turns of sleep, so Venomoth, he's going to be able to wake up. He goes to the Play Rough, but he ends up critting me, so even with the resistance, I'm not going to be able to survive an Aqua Jet, and that kind of blows, because I still want to get off this freaking Savage Spin Out Venomoth, but what can you do? Just going to go into my Cobalion now. I'm thinking I can do decent damage here with Iron Head, so that's what I'm going to do. He ends up going into his Metagross, though, so this thing can carry Earthquake, obviously, so I don't want to deal with that. So I think I just switch out. I should have actually just Volt Switch, because I should be faster. I guess I was worried here that it might be like a Scarf Metagross. No, because it just ate its leftovers. I must have just been complete noob. I think I just kind of missed the leftovers. I think I was thinking Scarf, even though it already ate leftovers. But whatever. Now I know it's not Scarf. Yeah, he just goes for the Bullet Punch for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, because Bullet Punch wouldn't do that much Cobalion either. So I'm just going to go into my Starmie, and that's going to do even less. Because of the resistance, this is my bulky Starmie, and I just want to get rid of my the Stealth Rocks on my field, so I'm just going to go for the Rapid Spin. Plus the switch into Raikou is kind of obvious, and being that I don't have complete special attack investment, it's not like I would have been able to do much damage to this thing with Scald anyway, with his Assault Vest and all that, so Now I am going to go ahead and switch. I do not want to lose Starmie because it is my Rapid Spinner and he still has Celebi, so I'm just going to go out into my Cobalion again. That Volt Switch does a lot of damage, which is a shame. I thought Cobalion was bulkier than this, but this shows you the power of Raikou. Anyway, so he's going to go into his Haxorus here, and I know this thing's going to obviously Dragon Dance, and I'm like, I cannot let this thing get a free Dragon Dance. My only chance is to get it damaged here so I can, you know, kill it, revenge kill it maybe. So I'm just going to go for, yeah, well, the thing I could revenge kill it with obviously is Choice Scarf, Hydreigon. So I just go for the close combat, and here he knows that Hydreigon can't outspeed, because I actually have one more base speed with Hydreigon than he has with Haxorus, and he goes for the greed here, which was super greedy and definitely a mistake on his part. He saw that close combat did a little over half. He's hoping that he'll get like min damage or something and be able to get up the +2 Dragon Dance, which is just pure greed on his part. He would have been able to sweep me for sure if he got it off. But that close combat is going to be able to take out the Haxorus, so he could have gotten the kill here on Cobalion. Instead, he goes for the greed route, not wanting to get not wanting to get forced out by my Hydreigon, and yeah, he just lets Cobalion live and just dies. So sometimes greed is not a good idea. Anyway, yeah, he's just gonna go for the Stealth Rock here as I go out into my Starmie, and that's fine because Starmie is my my spinner, so I can just do it. He's obviously, well, he's probably gonna go back into his Raikou. Because, yeah, that thing is just going to be able to force my Starmie out again. But I just really don't... Like I said... Well, I actually didn't say it, but I said on my stream before this match, I do have 3 Pokemon weak to Stealth Rock, so it's pretty imperative that I keep those Stealth Rocks down. But, yeah, he's... I'm just going to go ahead and switch out. Plus, my Stealth Rock is actually doing some nice damage to his team as he's being forced to switch. If you haven't noticed, he's been withering down his team, and I want to keep that advantage without... So I don't have to deal with it. Because it is helping me wither down his team a little bit. So he makes a really great prediction here, going for the Hidden Power Ice, I guess expecting my switch in a Hydreigon, so that was pretty cool. And this turn, he ends up, because I thought he would, I actually thought he would Volt Switch here when I saw him stay in. Instead he goes for the Hidden Power Ice again. So he's either, like, really confident that he could live a Earth Power, because I think I already showed off that I had Earth Power. Maybe I didn't. I might not have even used Earth Power yet, so that might be why. He was confident that maybe he could live a Dark Pulse. I don't remember. But either way, I'm just going to go for, what was that, the Iron Head, and it does okay damage to Celebi. Not great damage to Celebi, but I'm going to go for it again because I really want to get this thing down before I can set up another Stealth Rocks. And it critting with one, so that's kind of nice, and he just goes for a U-turn, and that will do absolutely nothing to me, but it does give him another, safe switch here in a Metagross, which obviously will force me to switch again because it probably has Earthquake. And this turn, I think, looking back on it, I could have Volt Switched, and I have no idea why I didn't, because that would have been, it would have done a lot of damage, but it would have been damage. Could have just Volt Switched into Starmie, and it would have been the exact same thing, but instead I just Hard Switch into Starmie, which isn't really such a big deal, because it really wouldn't have done that much, but, you take damage where you can get it, usually. Anyway, he does go for the Earthquake. Because I am bulky Starmie, I take that pretty darn nicely. And, yeah, I'm just going to go for the Scald. I would really like to get this thing burned. He ends up not taking anything from this, so I'm thinking that this... Now, I don't have, like, obviously I already said that. I don't have, like, I do have some special attack investment, but not, like, complete special attack investment on the Starmie, so it does make sense that it doesn't do that much. But this Metagross looks like it has special defense investment, or HP investment at the very least, because that took that very well. Of course, the thing I really want, though, with the Scald is the burn. And here I'm going to go ahead and reveal that I do indeed have the Recover, which is just kind of obvious because it is bulky Starmie. And, yeah, I'm going to be able to take that Earthquake pretty well. He's not going to be able to KO me here unless he gets a crit. So I'm just going to go for another Scald, which I kind of figure will at least do some damage to the Raikou if it tries to come back in. Instead, he ends up, sacking Darmanitan to get a safe switch in, which is fine. To be honest. Actually, no, the reason, because I think Raikou would die, because Raikou is pretty low at this point, isn't it? I think it is. But, no, he has to sack Darmanitan, which is going to die to the Scald, obviously. It's super effective, and he only had a sliver of health after the Stealth Rocks. No, he's going to go into his Azumarill, and I think I just go for a Scald here, hoping to get the burn on this thing, because this Azumarill, also if it gets a Belly Drum up, I would be in a really bad situation, so I wanted to get it at least below half. And he is going to take the opportunity to go for the knockoff, so... That will take down my Starmie, but I'm kind of confident that with Celebi being so low on HP, and his Metagross also has Stealth Rocks, but I'm thinking at this point in the game, it's not going to hurt me that much. But anyway, he is going to go into his Metagross here against my Cobalion. He knows I probably don't have much to deal with him, but I actually kind of predict this, going for the Volt Switch. And also, Volt Switch is super effective against Azumarill, so it might have done decent damage. But that was pretty good play because now I can go straight on my Darmanitan. I know this thing's not Scarfed, so Darmanitan, even with just a Choice Band, can outspeed this thing. And yeah, a Choice Band Flare Blitz will just murder most things, including things with resistances like this Azumarill. So just gonna go for that, and yeah, even with the resistance, ain't nothing gonna take a Flare Blitz well, unless it has like immunity to fire through an ability or something. But yeah, that is dead, and he does have Raikou still remaining, and this thing can outspeed me and do some crippling damage with Thunderbolt. And I decided to actually just sack off a different Pokemon. I go ahead and sack off my Cobalion because I think it's the safest thing. It'll give me a safe switch now into my Hydreigon, which of course is Scarfed and can outspeed, and therefore outspeed this Raikou. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I do have Dark Pulse. Well, I could have gone for Earth Power, because it would have been super effective against, well, Dark Pulse is super effective and stab. Plus, at this point, I have no problem KOing that Assault-vested Raikou. Actually, no, his last Pokemon's Celebi. That's right, I already... Oh, no, he has Celebi. That dies, and his last Pokemon is Metagross. So, yeah, this thing's going to come in, and even if my super effective stab Dark Pulse doesn't kill this thing due to its assumed special bulk, I still have Darmanitan, which can definitely murder it. So, yeah. He goes for a Bullet Punch, not going to be able to quite kill, and yeah, it was an excellent game. Really well maneuvered, I think, on both sides. He made, I think the biggest mistake he made was just the greed move with the Haxorus. But aside from that, very well played. And today's question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite move animation in any Pokemon game? Not necessarily your favorite move, or even, you know, your favorite move, you know, what its flavor is. But what's the animation you think is just really freaking cool? I'm going to go with a few honorable mentions first. Zap Cannon in Gen 2, when the screen got dark, was super cool. I also like, obviously, what is it, the Dark Z move? Now, Black Hole Eclipse, that's a really cool one. And what is it? Mimikyu's new Z move is really funny. But my favorite animation is still going to go ahead and be the Snorlium Z move, which is, of course, Pulverizing Pancake, which is just mesmerizing just looking at it. Unfortunately, it's not very good, and unfortunately, your Snorlax to run a pretty meh move and Giga Impact. So it's not very competitively viable, but I've definitely used it a few times in the past just because of how cool it is. So leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.